while the blue label can be made every year because we have a wide range of vineyards of Brunello di Montalcino, the Riserva, it's made only in the best years, and it's made out of a selection of Sangiovese grapes coming from different Brunello vineyards that we have, not necessarily every year the same, in the sense that at the moment of the harvest, each vineyard is analyzed. We have samples of grapes taken into our laboratory and analyzed to see if they show a potential eventually to produce a wine that will be with the same characteristic of the regular Brunello, but with more concentration, more structure, more complexity, more life ahead. So we already know when the grapes come for the harvest, for the pressing, we know which one potentially will become a Riserva. And every I wouldn't say every grape, but every production from every different vineyards, it's aged and vinified separately. So all along the basically 4 years of evolution of the wine, from the pressing into the bottle, the wines are followed. And at the moment of the bottling, we declare what is going to be Riserva, what is going to be the regular Brunello, and what is going to be the single vineyard. That means that while the Brunello di Montalcino Blue Label can be appreciated and drunk almost from the beginning of the release, for the Riserva you need to have to wait a few months or years to appreciate fully the maturity and the complexity and the charm of a wine.
Tell me on the red label, Raffaella. I know that you can't be exact, but give me an idea, a time frame of when the red label would start to be able to show its wonderful finesse and characteristics.
I think, yes. I think generally speaking, any time between 2 years from the bottling up to 30 years. That's the average. I've tasted some older Brunello Riserva, even 70 years old, and they were still wine with an immense charm. But generally speaking, especially because Brunello, it's a wine to be drunk when you eat, I think anything between 2 and 30 years. In the first 10 years, it shows a beautiful balance of fruit, which is a characteristic of the Sangiovese, a very good red fruit, berries and cherries, combined with a secondary aspect of leather, of undergrowth, of a sort of dry nut touch. And when it reaches that balance, for me, it's perfect. Then in the second decades and third decades, the fruit slowly transforms more and more into a sort of walnut, dry fruit, a bit of leather aspect. And the wine becomes finer and finer, more complex, but it loses the beauty of the fruit at the beginning. So talking, and it's an aspect that I haven't touched with the Brunello, but it's important, is the combination with food. While the blue label, for me, it's perfect with anything to do with pork meat, with a good beef steak, with grilled sausages, with lamb. The Riserva starts to be more complementary for game, venison, when it's young. Of course, beef, but more into the stews, more into the roast beef, more into the mushroom and truffles. And when it gets older, and I'm talking about 10, 20, 30 years old, it's perfect with mature cheeses. It's absolutely wonderful. And if it gets even older, and you are not able to drink it before, it's fantastic as a meditation wine, a wine to drink at the end of an evening, just even by yourself, sipping one little taste after the other.